Howdy guys, and welcome back. Part 12 of Princess Evangile. In our last episode, we got a love letter. Only to go to the spot and find out there was no one there. It's such a shame. Now the protagonist is all depressed about it because he felt that he kind of stood her up, making her wait, because we waited too long to read the letter. So we are continuing off of that, and let's go. What a shame. I was still kicking myself the next day. I don't know why I got so worked up about a love letter. I didn't even know what she looked like. I didn't even know her name. Afterwards, I had reread the letter and there was no name attached to it. There was a signature, but it only read Place and Terry. Place and Terry. Interesting. Wonder what that means. I'd never heard of that title before, but I thought Rise or one of the others might know. But I couldn't ask them without telling them what happened, so for now it remained a mystery. Not for us guys, because I just so happen to have the Google right here. Isn't the internet grand? Okay, hang on one second. Look it up. This is learning French with yours truly. Oh, that's not good. According to the Google Foo, Place and Terre in French means joke. It's a joke. Someone played a trick on me, guys. I'm not happy. But that's okay, you know. Maybe something good will come out of it, you know. Okay. But I couldn't ask them without telling them what happened. So for now, it remained a mystery. The reason for my elation and subsequent disappointment wasn't just because the girl confessed to me. In all honesty, I wasn't particularly interested in dating at the moment. In other words, leaving all love and romance out of it, I was just happy to have made a connection with someone. On that night we fled to the city, I had cut ties with everyone I knew. I had even lost my closest childhood friend. You might even say my closest friend, period. All on the off chance that I might cause trouble for them. Since then, I kept to myself in class and at work. No friends, and certainly no girlfriend. And in that entire year, I didn't see a single sign that my old man was working to pay back his loan. By the end, I had started to go crazy thinking my entire life would be like this. That all changed when I came to Vincennes. Now, I didn't have to worry about money, I had lots of friends, and I could even get a girlfriend if I wanted. But what I really wanted more than anything was that connection with someone. Even if not a girlfriend, I just wanted ordinary friends. I wanted as many connections as I could form. That's what I wanted. Messiah, you seem rather listless today. Does your stomach still hurt? Huh? Yesterday, Ruriko mentioned that you had a stomachache. Was she mistaken? Oh, I quickly nodded. Yeah, that's right. I pressed my hands against my stomach to reinforce the point. What could it be? You've been acting this way all day. I hope it isn't food poisoning. I'm rather worried. But I appended quickly. I didn't want her worrying about me over a lie. I think I'm feeling better. Oh goodness, sorry guys. Didn't get much sleep last night. Pain's almost gone actually. There's just a little nausea, and that should probably be gone by before lunchtime. I see. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Nothing. I wanted to ask her who is Place and Terry, but in the end, I couldn't bring myself to do it. It was after class. I was walking down the hall when I felt a tingle of anticipation in my chest. I wonder if it's a premonition or just wishful thinking. I was wondering if I was about to get another love letter from Place and Terry. It probably wasn't a premonition, of course. But even so, I couldn't keep the restlessness out of my steps. I glanced into my shoebox. I let out a long, deep breath and opened the door. And then... another love letter! Interesting, it's there. The words slipped from my lips. I must be psychic after all. To avoid the same mistake as last time, I opened it on the spot. I just had to do it boldly. If they thought I was reading some ordinary paper, no one would assume it was a love letter. It's the cathedral this time. Oh, Messiah. Ah. Ruriko looked down at my hand. A moment later, her eyes began to sparkle. Oh my, oh my. paper that you're holding, could it be a love letter by chance? No, you're mistaken. This is not a love letter. But where did you get that idea? Well, she looked around. This is the entranceway. Love letters go in a shoebox. That is the rule of these things. I don't know what you're talking about. No, there's none here. I was right. Even I had guessed it was a love letter when I saw the envelope in my shoebox. That's not true. I gave her a stiff smile and shoved the letter in my pocket. Me get a love letter? That's ridiculous. Really? It doesn't seem that unusual to me. I shook my head quickly. Well, I'm off. But the society meeting. Screw the meeting. We got people. We got women to meet. Rico said something, but I ignored her and rushed outside. I rushed like a whirlwind through the crowds of elegantly strolling maidens and Vincennes heading back to the dorms. Again. Pant, pant, pant. It occurred to me that I had never been to the cathedral before. I steadied myself and pushed open the door. Here we go, guys. Oh, look who it is. I gasped. There was no one else there, which meant she must have been the one who sent the love letter. But that wasn't the only reason for the tightness in my chest. It was the sight of her head bowed and hands pressed together. It was an image of the divine. I had unconsciously stifled the sound of my approach, but she slowly turned toward me. It's you, Messiah. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. Not at all. She must have heard the sound of the door opening and closing. She gave me a small bow, then attempted to slip past me to the door. Excuse me. Yes? Ritsuko, are you alone? She gave a quick look around, then nodded. It appears that I am. What of it? Nothing, it's just strange. It's such a large place. Not many people come to the cathedral. Why not? Not much happens here. I guess that's true. It was my first time coming here myself, after all. But Ritsuko comes to the cathedral alone, on her own time. Just then a beam of light shone through the door. There was a heavy creaking and a silhouette of a person appeared in the open doorway. Ritsuko turned back to look. Sister. Oh, it's Ayaka. Salutations. What's going on? You never come to the cathedral. It was my first time seeing the sisters together. I noticed something familiar about Ayaka-san when we first met, but seeing them side by side, they gave off very different impressions. I caught sight of Messiah. Huh? Me. Keep poking me. Stop poking me. I wonder what you were doing here at the cathedral. Ugh. I wrapped my arms around my head and reeled in agony. Did you come to pray, or is it a rendezvous, perhaps? Rendezvous what? The word was familiar, but I didn't know what it meant. Its sweet fragrance brushed against my face, and I felt my thoughts grow hazy. She's the master of seduction. Combined with the softness pressing against my arm, it was all too much to take. It means a lover's meeting. No, it does not mean a lover's meeting. She breathed the words hotly into my ear. Of course, it can mean whatever she wants it to mean, if you know what I'm saying. But what are you doing, sister? It's disgraceful. What? But you see people talking like this way all the time. Messiah is a boy. You work too much, Ritsuko, right? Huh? She murmured the word right in my ear again. It tickled and caused my body to squirm a little. That is absolutely not true. As she spoke, Ritsuko roughly pulled Ayaka off of me. Really, this is still a cathedral. Show a modicum of respect. Oh please, there's no believers here. Yep. No one believes in religion here. This is all front for like a cult or something. Ah, you're such a stickler for rules, Ritsuko. Compared to you, everyone is. Ooh, getting a little catty. You may be right. I am right. We should probably leave now before this erupts into a fight. I'd never seen Ritsuko like this before. She was always so detached. Even during her arguments with Konami, she never dropped that facade. Now she was showing some actual emotion. I was seeing her in an all-new light. Messiah, I apologize. Huh? My sister has offended you. Oh, no, she didn't really. I can't think of how I offended him. Messiah likes it, right? Yes, ma'am. I couldn't really deny that, but I could feel the weight of Ritsuko's gaze on me. Of course he doesn't. What man would be happy to be grabbed onto? What man would be happy to be grabbed onto by someone he isn't even in love with? Yeah, men hate that. You just don't understand, Ritsuko. Not everyone in this world is a saint. If they were, civilization would collapse. That's an interesting thought. Didn't think of it like that. What do you think, Messiah? Is my sister correct? Or am I? I'm not really sure. I found myself sweating at Ritsuko's direct questioning. Well, there are a lot of types of people in the world, and they all have their own tastes. I wasn't asking for bland platitudes, Messiah. Huh? What we want to hear is what you're thinking, right? I would prefer the platitude myself. Hang on. I'm unfamiliar with that word. So we're gonna look it up, guys. Because you know, you learn stuff with me. It means a remark or statement, especially one with a moral content that has been used too often to be interesting or thoughtful. So they don't want to hear me regurgitate some line they've heard a million times. They want me to know what I think. Ritsuko does not want to know. She just wants to hear the same old same. Ayaka does not want to hear same old same old. She wants to know what actually I think. So I like Ayaka better in that case. But you have a living sample right in front of you. Wouldn't you rather hear it from the horse's mouth? Well, I suppose so. What is your personal opinion then, Messiah? Does it make you happy? Yes, ma'am. I don't wish to believe that you could be that kind of person, but as before, I felt the weight of Ritsuko's gaze. What should I do? Whether I lied or told the truth, I was in trouble. If I told the truth, Ritsuko would think less of me. But if I lied, it would offend Ayaka. That kind of person. Come on, how is Messiah supposed to answer when you put it like that? Huh? You're trying to force him to say he wasn't happy. You're the one who was leading along before. Fine, then I withdraw the question. I know the answer anyway. Yes, yes. Whoa, there we go. Dodge that one. Well, you have the first term vote coming up. It wouldn't do to damage your image now. Ayaka turned her smile back to me. It's really not a bad thing, you know. Ritsuko is just so fastidious. So why don't we put the matter on hold for now? I felt an honest sense of relief at Ayaka's words, but Ritsuko's determination only grew. But my intention is to find out Messiah's true colors. If you're just going to get a bad impression of him, why not save it until later? Huh? I think it's such a waste. There are people who forgive and those you don't forgive for what are ultimately the same actions. That's interesting. You're a fastidious person, so you can't forgive a man for thinking dirty thoughts, right? Well, yes. Well, that's fine in and of itself, but right now I think it would be a waste if you started hating Messiah. So once you start to like him a little bit more, you'll be able to learn his true colors and not mind. Like him. I don't mean it that way, I mean like a friend. Very well. Ritsuko nodded in resignation. You really are sisters, right? Yes, I'm the bad sister, and she's the good sister. I can see it. You really seem like you belong together. As an only child, I couldn't help but feel a little jealous. Wow, you may be the only person in Vincennes history to say that. In history? That seems like a bit of an exaggeration. Maybe it is, but it is the first time you heard it, right, Ritsuko? That is true. But sister, Messiah's role as an outsider means he brings many fresh perspectives. After the dance, he talked to me about his impression of you. What did you say about me? She nudged me with her elbow, smiling in delight. Oh, well, I just said that you were friendly and easy to talk to, or something like that. I see. He was the first person I'd ever met who said that about you. Well, that may be true. Ayaka shrugged. Do you know what I'm known as at Vincennes? I suppose you don't. The other Kita Mikado, like the least popular member of a comedy troupe. I couldn't help but laugh. You don't have a title then? Oh, nothing neat like that. That's reserved for people with a certain level of status. Which meant that Pleasant Terry wasn't Ayaka. I felt a little disappointed. I think that's your own fault, sister. In what way exactly? Ritsuko didn't answer, but spoke to me instead. You should be aware, Messiah, that my sister is a troublemaker. Right. But that, Ritsuko left the cathedral. For heaven's sake, Ritsuko's such a stickler for rules. That stuff earlier was just our way of communicating, right? Oh, she acted like we were in agreement, but I wasn't actually sure how to respond to that. Of course, I would never do something like that to someone I didn't like. You're cute, Messiah. That's why I like to mess with you. Oh, she likes us. So it wasn't just a way of communicating. What do you think? Half and half, I guess. Anyway, I'm out. Salutations. Right. Speaking of which, yes? What did you come to the cathedral for? It wasn't for a rendezvous with my little sister, was it? Oh, no, nothing like that. Confession then? But Vincennes doesn't have priests. I hesitated, then decided it might be worth confiding in Ayaka. She was so easy to talk to, and she was older than me. She could make a good confidant. The truth is... Oh, this smells like a confession. Go on, tell your big sister. Come on, right here. At her urging, I took a seat. The chair was hard and a little bit chilly. I'll hold your hand to give you courage. Go on, tell me everything. She's so sweet. You don't need to hold my hand. Too bad. Oh, yes, ma'am. I told her everything that had happened yesterday. The sender was someone called Placentaire. Do you know who it is, Ayaka? Of course. She's well known throughout the campus after all. Well known, really? I never heard the name before. Well, it stands to reason that you haven't heard of her. She's a real beauty, but she's known for being extremely shy. Wow. A real beauty. I didn't necessarily want to date her, but the news still made my heart leap. So if she ever saw you in the hallway, she would probably run into hiding like a nervous alley cat. But even so, she probably kept watching you from afar, gradually nurturing a longing for you. Wow. This was sounding really good. The reason she never showed herself to you today or yesterday is because of the kind of person she is. You mean because she's shy? She was able to give you the letter, but when it came down to it, she couldn't work up the courage to face you. I bet that's what's going on. I see. What do you think of Placentaire? Well, I don't think anything over one way or the other, but I would like to meet her if I could. She went through so much trouble well, I couldn't bring myself to talk about my desire for human connections. I just shook my head vaguely. Because she's a beauty, right? Well, I guess so. Anyway, here's some advice from me to you. Keep at it and do exactly as she says. Like about where she meets and such, even if you never see her. She trailed off and took a long look around the uninhabited cathedral. She's probably still watching from afar, just like Sombray's scanner. I see. If you just keep giving in to her demands, she'll eventually manage to overcome her shyness. I see. Well, good luck, Messiah. Interesting. Wonder what could become of this whole thing. I have a bad feeling about it, though. It was Saturday, 3 days later. Rise was very angry with me. Yeah, because we've been skipping out on our meetings. Please, Messiah, you have to come to our meeting today. Right. The truth is, we mostly have free time. There's no particular business to discuss at the moment. Well, then why do I go to the meetings? Why should I go? There's nothing to discuss, why be there? It's just a waste of my time that I could be getting to know these people. But even if there's nothing to discuss, it's important that you come to meetings. That will strengthen the bonds between us. I believe that is what the Lightweight Society needs more than anything right now. Don't you agree? Oh, yeah, I do agree. My, Rise is scolding. I wonder what he could have done. Anyway, let's go to Maria Hall. Right. We left the classroom to find Chihio and Ruriko are already waiting for us. Now we're going to make sure you come to the meeting this time. Sure. Each of you take one of his hands. I will stand behind him and hold his collar. You don't need to do that. I'm not going to run away. Q. Pandravel is saying he will use that long body of his to wrap tightly around your neck. Wouldn't that kill me? Q. He says that he will leave a hair its breadth. That's nice, but I'm still thinking it'll kill me. But what have you been doing? According to Rise, you always bolt the minute class ends. Look, let's just go to the entranceway. The reason I haven't been around for the past 2 or 3 days should be there again today, I think. The 3 girls exchange a curious glance. Well, Ruriko probably knows what's going on, but the other 2 don't. They actually did grab me by both arms in the collar, and we all headed for the entranceway. When we arrived at my shoebox, they finally let me go, and I opened the door. Ah, I knew it. What is it? I silently showed her the love letter. It was true that I couldn't afford to miss any more meetings. It was no good hiding it any longer. This is My. Uh-oh. Jealousy. A love letter? Not so loud. It was the end of the day, so there were a lot of people around. Look, I'll explain to Maria Hall. Certainly will. I'd like to hear all about this. This looks like it will be a fun meeting. And indeed, it shall be a fun meeting, but that's going to have to wait until next time.